YouTube? My name is Dan, and I am the Friendly Fat Guy. This is a time of year right now that is difficult for a whole lot of people. The holidays are getting geared up. We just passed Thanksgiving. Every store out there is playing Christmas music. And for those of us, humans that have had trauma and difficulty in our lives, which would be, all of us, there are things around the holidays that can be really sad for us. A particular song that maybe your parent or friend or family member that passed away would always sing. Maybe a particular flower, a particular type of decoration. My grandmother, who lived to be 97 years old, love her to death, one of the most wonderful people I have ever known. Her sister, who I unfortunately never got to meet, passed away before I was born, absolutely loved Christmas. They all did. I remember celebrating Christmas at my grandmother's many, many years. And my grandmother's sister would put out a special couple of little pieces that were her very favorites that would make sure to be there every year. And she would always flood the whole house with poinsettias, which, as you know, are traditional holiday Christmas flowers that are absolutely gorgeous. And, so after she died, my grandmother, who was very mindful, always very nice and kind, and one of those people that it seems like just don't come along in the world very often, after she died, those pieces that always came out never came out anymore, and never again would you see a poinsettia in that lady's house. Even though, she still would do the holiday, those things made her sad, and it's understandable. And the thing that people don't understand about folks that have depression specifically is that, we're a little off kilter to begin with. If you think about your emotions as like being on a scale, and just kind of how you're doing in general as being on a scale. There's the one side, the negative side, and there's the positive side. Well, if you're looking at it from a standpoint of depression, you always are a little bit on the negative side. You're always weighing a little bit heavy on that side anyway. So when you add those extra things that most people find difficult but are able to get through, add that into somebody who has like a major depression diagnosis like I do, it tips the scale further. It makes it even more difficult. Truthfully, we all tend to gravitate a little on the negative side of the scale, but those of us with the brain chemistry issues and wiring issues that kind of put us there automatically already anyway, it makes it even worse. So it's hard to understand. It's hard for somebody who has never experienced it to really get it. And what I would like to do is kind of encourage asking of questions for the holiday season. A lot of times things go by, and speaking for myself anyway, something will bother me, but because I know that it's not somebody doing anything intentionally, that, people are acting out of kindness and caring, or, just simple holiday things that just kind of are how they are, it's not anybody's fault. They're not intentionally trying to come after me or make me feel bad. It's just what they do because it's the holidays. So if you're one of those people who maybe you're around somebody like me, you see somebody having a little more difficulty, it could be somebody really close to you, it could be a family member or a friend, or it could be somebody you don't even know. Maybe you're in the grocery store like I'm about to go into when I can finally get together and go in there because it's super crowded. But anyway, if you're one of those people, sorry, drop my extra light source here, it's dark outside. If you're see somebody like that, even if you don't know them, just take a second and again reach out and have a human moment. I know I've said that over and over again at different times, but for God's sakes, people, have a human moment with other people. Just reach out and say, hey, you look a little down. No, you don't know me, but is everything okay? And now granted, there are oversharers in the world. I see them every day, people who are sincerely good people, but they will tell you their life story in a heartbeat. And, I know they're out there, and I know it's not cool. And I know it's one of those things where, they really need to learn that that's not an acceptable thing. But sometimes people just need to get it off their chest. One of the things that I am proudest about my job is that I'm able just to listen to people. There are lots of good people in the world, and reaching out to somebody and just listening to what they have to say, it feels really good inside. People talk about a Christmas miracle. Well, maybe you can be a Christmas miracle for somebody else. Reach out to people around you. If you see somebody having a rough time, be that voice of reason, that caring voice to them. Be the person who reaches out to them. I mentioned that a family member who was just a wonderful guy, a couple weeks ago now, committed suicide in my family. No need to share names or anything like that. Just, suffice it to say, he had his demons and struggles, and he had lost his job up in one of those Rust Belt states where a lot of those companies are going out of business, manufacturing and transportation companies. And, I can't say for sure that if somebody would have reached out to him, if they saw that he was having a hard time, I can't guarantee that would change anything. And it's possible it wouldn't have. But there are lots of people who are still here that, that would make a difference. Sometimes you can't do anything no matter how hard you try. But sometimes you can. And isn't it worth it to save somebody who might be really, really in a dark place right now, to go and reach out to them and, be a human being? And even though you don't understand how deep their hurt is, you could at least be an ear. So take that challenge. Go out and listen to people. If somebody looks like they're down, talk to them. It doesn't matter if you know them or not. Just say, hey, you just look like you're down. Do you need an ear for 15 minutes? I don't have anything else going on right now. And people around you that do have major depression or issues like that, or things that tip their scales a little bit to the negative, talk to them, try to understand it. The more you hear people, the more you talk to people, the more you understand how it is on the other side. And that makes it where you can be a good friend and a wonderful human being by understanding how other people are. I know that one of my favorite things to do is talk to people and learn how they see the world and how everything works for them. So maybe that's something you can do too. All right, YouTube, I know this is kind of rambly, but again, this is Dan, the Friendly Fat Guy, and I will see you later.